Well, I'm reminded of something I think somebody else said up here before. When people ask you how you're really doing, they don't really want to know, but I think you all want to know. So this is just a very brief recap of an experience that, unless it touches you directly or somebody in your family, you really take it for granted. It's divorce, and I'm gonna essentially just focus on my process through it. I won't share the particulars, but I have a daughter who was 2.5 at the time. So I had a toddler little girl, and when her mother and I named her, I picked her middle name of Grace. And in the end, it happened to be that she was the grace that saw me through. My then wife walked into the bedroom that night after a girls' night out with friends. It was about 3 a.m. It felt off that day and the days prior, but it had felt off for a while. I was used to it. I didn't think it was an issue. I'm gonna pack up my things and take our daughter and go stay with my parents for a week, she told me. But I knew she wasn't coming back. So the following morning, as I got to see the car packed up with all of the things that could possibly fit in it, including my daughter, and drive off, I knew that was it, with the exception of maybe one phone call to let me know that divorce would follow. We didn't speak, or she wouldn't speak with me for the following 6 weeks. And here I am, cracked open and not knowing how I got there. I had always thought that I was the stoic guy who didn't allow himself to really feel much and thought that that was a good thing. And in that moment, I realized maybe not so much. And I am reminded of a Philadelphia area film director, M. Night Shyamalan, who gives you that little twist at the end and you get all those flashes. Sixth Sense, Bruce Willis all of a sudden realizes that thing about himself at the end. And for me, those flashes of moments when I was harsh and insensitive when I should have been gentle and kind. Times when we were sitting right across from each other at dinner, maybe at a restaurant, and we could have had an entire ocean between us. Just moments where I just didn't allow myself to feel, and I thought I was doing the right thing for all of us. It turns out not so much. And so I have this little 2-year-old girl, and here I am, just cracked open, changing diapers, all of a sudden making meals, doing laundry, fixing her bed, cleaning her room, and without a clue of what the future holds. When you take a relationship or a marriage for granted and then you're blindsided by having it cut off from you, it's sort of like all of a sudden there's a wall and you can't even see 2 weeks into the future anymore. It's very humbling. My mother suggested I go to therapy, figure some of these things out. And in the course of doing that, I realized, oh, I can feel things. I can allow myself to feel things and it doesn't compromise me as a strong man. You mean I can allow myself to feel and there's actually strength and masculinity in that? And so in that process, different things started to manifest. I took up a gardening habit with my little 2-year-old. She loved getting her hands in the soil and watching the growth cycle over 3 months as things would bloom. I started playing the piano after not touching it for 10 years and noticed how she would point out to me the different classical composers who I was playing. She could distinguish them. This little, at this point, 3-year-old girl telling me this. I'd go to work. I'm a trial lawyer, and the different attorneys in my office, these men, all of a sudden started coming into my office and closing the door because somehow they noticed that, yeah, he's able to talk about some of these vulnerable things, and it actually makes him stronger for it. And I need some help with something, but I can't let anybody else see me like this. It's okay for Anthony too. And so things just things just continued to grow that way. I was able to feel, and in that way was a stronger man to my little one. And I got to see myself back through her eyes, that she felt safe, secure, that her father was the strongest man she ever knew, which was a great experience. And so, yeah, where I learned that when you cut yourself off from feeling things, you actually also cut yourself off from the potential joy. And now I had it in abundance with my daughter. Beautiful growing experience. She was the grace that saw me through. I care about you all very much. Thank you for letting me share.